something is changing. You feel like you're still being careful, eating moderately, maintaining a routine, exercising regularly, and yet, in the morning, your arm is slower when pouring water. By the afternoon, your legs are more tired even after just a few steps around the house, and simple tasks, like getting up from the sofa, start to require a little more effort. You're confused, because clearly you're not lazy, not careless with your health. So why is your body acting as if it's losing vitality every day? Could it be that there's something you haven't seen? A small detail, but repeated long enough, can erode even a solid foundation. And that's exactly what we're going to explore today. It's not that you're undereating, but eating imbalanced meals. It's not that you're not taking care of yourself, but not doing it correctly. In this video, I'll walk you through 5 mistakes that almost everyone makes when supplementing protein. Mistakes that don't cause a collapse in a day, but wear down the body week by week, month by month. We'll revisit each habit, and you'll realize, just by fixing a few small things, your body can regain strength, silently and spectacularly. Every morning is a rush. Many people just grab a cup of coffee and a slice of bread and go. Sound familiar? But for older adults, that's not just a habit. It's a reason why strength gradually weakens even if you're not doing anything wrong. The first mistake starts right at breakfast, when the body needs nourishment the most. Mistake number 1. Eating too little protein in the morning. For many people over 60, morning is a gentle start. A slice of bread, a banana, sometimes just a cup of hot tea. The stomach feels okay. The body seems to have warmed up enough. But have you ever noticed that it's during those very mornings that you start to feel unsteady on your feet, a little wobbly getting up after sitting for a while, or your vision blurs slightly when you walk into the kitchen? It's not a coincidence. After a long night, the body has used up almost all its energy and protein to maintain life during sleep. When you wake up, what you need isn't just energy, but the raw materials for repair, and that raw material is protein. If you skip breakfast or just eat lightly to fill your stomach, the body has nothing to resupply the muscle groups that have just gone 7 to 8 hours without nourishment. It will draw from its own muscle tissue for energy. Every morning you lack protein is a morning the body silently eats away at itself. You don't see it right away, but after a few weeks, a few months, you find yourself weaker, more out of breath, dizzier when you stand up. And then you blame it on age, but it's not. It's the consequence of letting your muscles run dry every day, just because they weren't fed at the right time. A study from Maastricht University in the Netherlands once showed that older adults absorb and synthesize protein best in the morning, within 2 to 3 hours after waking up. After that time frame, the golden window for muscle recovery begins to close. It's a pity, because many people still miss that crucial moment, not because they don't care, but simply because they've never been reminded. So what's the right way? Imagine you're preparing for a new day, not just to live, but to move, maintain balance, and keep your own freedom. Then you need to give your body what it needs most. No need for elaborate meals, just enough thoughtfulness and right timing. Instead of a dry slice of bread, imagine a small bowl with cool Greek yogurt, a few thin slices of banana, and a sprinkle of chia seeds. Light, easy to digest, but enough for your body to understand, I'm being refueled. Or simply 2 boiled eggs with a slice of whole wheat bread and a small spoonful of almond butter. That's not eating for the sake of eating. That's an act of proactive nourishment. Not used to eating early? That's okay. Break your breakfast into smaller parts. Drink a glass of soy milk or protein milk when you first wake up, then eat the main part around 9 a.m. Like a small mid-morning reward, because the important thing isn't whether you eat a lot or a little, but that you give your body a clear signal, I'm taking care of you. An interesting thing, when you start your day with enough protein, your body's entire circadian rhythm changes. You find yourself more alert, less craving sweets mid-morning. Your steps are no longer wobbly. Getting up from a chair becomes as easy as when you were younger. That's not magic, that's biology, and you just activated it with a proper breakfast. Many people, after learning that breakfast needs protein, go to the other extreme. They think, okay, I'll eat a light breakfast and save all the protein for lunch or dinner. Eat it all at once to get enough. It sounds reasonable, but this is the second common mistake. Because older adults' bodies no longer have the ability to process a large amount of protein in a single sitting like they did when they were younger. When you load up all your protein in one meal, the excess won't be absorbed effectively, and the muscles can only use a small portion for recovery. So, what's more reasonable? Right now, we'll explore mistake number 2, loading up all your protein in a single meal. You might find that you still eat enough protein during the day, a dinner with salmon, chicken, or a protein shake before bed. But if all day you've only had a few starchy snacks, a piece of fruit, a bowl of thin soup, then your body, especially your muscles, has had to live temporarily for many hours without being refueled. Muscles don't wait until evening to synthesize. They need protein at the times you exercise, move, maintain balance, stand up and sit down, do housework, walk lightly. That is, all day long. Every hour you're alive is an hour muscle tissue needs to be maintained and micro-repaired. If not nourished in time, then no matter how much you eat at dinner, the muscle can't return to its previous state. Indeed, the process of muscle synthesis doesn't work on a late compensation principle. It only occurs effectively when the amino acid content from food appears in the blood at a sufficient level at the right time. When you load 60 grams of protein into a single dinner, only about 25 to 30 grams is used for building muscle. The rest is metabolized or even becomes excess energy stored in the liver or abdominal fat. That means you think you're eating enough, but in reality, your muscles are only being partially nourished. Not only that, eating too much protein in the evening also creates a series of consequences that older adults are prone to: bloating, indigestion, difficulty sleeping, because the body has to process a large amount of food while the digestive system has slowed down at the end of the day. That leads to a vicious cycle. You eat a lot of protein, but feel sluggish. You think you're supplementing enough nutrients, but still find your arms and legs weakening. And all because you've overlooked the golden times of the day when your body needs to be nourished regularly. The body after age 60 no longer has the ability to store protein like when it was younger. It can only use what you provide at the right time. Muscles are not storage compartments, but a build-on-site system. And to build, you need to deliver materials to the construction site in batches, on time, not late. So the solution isn't to eat more, but to distribute it more intelligently. Each main meal should have a sufficient amount of protein, about 25 to 30 grams. No need to be too elaborate. A breakfast with eggs and yogurt, a lunch with tofu or fish, a light dinner with chicken soup and nuts is enough to maintain a stable metabolic rhythm. Between meals, if you need to supplement more, choose easily absorbed protein sources like unsweetened soy milk or a small portion of cheese. When protein is consumed at the right time, it not only nourishes muscles, but also reduces inflammation, increases metabolism, improves sleep, and helps you feel healthier in a natural way. And if you've ever thought that just eating enough quantity is enough, then this is the time to reconsider, because for the body after 60, it's not how much you eat that determines health, but when you eat. Quantity can't save quality. You might eat 80 grams of protein per day, divided into 3 meals, but if you choose the wrong sources, your body will still lose muscle week by week. This is an issue that most older adults don't realize, and no one warns them about. The reason is very clear. Not all protein is complete in amino acids, easily absorbed, and causes few side effects for an aging body. We will explore mistake number 3 right now: choosing the wrong type of protein. When you were young, any protein source, whether from fried meat, fried chicken, or white rice, could be absorbed by the body. But after age 50, the digestive system starts to slow down. Protein-digesting enzymes decrease, and the anabolic response in muscle tissue also weakens. In other words, the body starts to become picky. And it's this pickiness that makes many types of protein that used to be effective now almost useless. Some foods are still called protein-rich, but lack the important elements for muscle nourishment. Processed meats like sausages, cold cuts, canned meat often lack the amino acid leucine, essential for initiating muscle synthesis, while containing high levels of nitrites and preservatives that cause chronic inflammation. Protein from starches like white rice, corn, potatoes, although they contain protein, they lack at least one of the essential amino acids, making the muscle-building process incomplete. Cheap protein powders of unclear origin, sometimes contain many fillers, are difficult to absorb, and put pressure on the liver and kidneys, especially in older adults with weak digestion. Those types of protein are still eaten every day, still present in the diet, but never reach where they need to go. The muscle tissues. Why is choosing the wrong protein dangerous after age 50? Older adults' bodies don't have the ability to store excess protein. Each meal is a unique opportunity for muscle synthesis, and if missed, muscle mass will continue to decline. If the protein source is not of sufficient quality, difficult to digest, or causes inflammation, the body cannot use it. Worse yet, when eating poor quality protein accompanied by saturated fats or additives, the body can react negatively, creating low-grade inflammation, metabolic disorders, and breaking down muscle instead of building it. So what are the right protein sources? What the body of someone over 50 needs isn't protein in general, but the type of protein that is complete in essential amino acids, especially leucine, the muscle-building activator. Easy to digest and absorb because the stomach no longer functions as strongly as before, low in inflammation, free of additives, preservatives, or hidden sugars. Typical examples: eggs, Greek yogurt, salmon, silken tofu, pure whey protein isolate. Not only do these protein sources help muscles absorb efficiently, but they also support reducing inflammation, improving digestion, and increasing endurance after light exercise. Choosing the wrong protein isn't a mistake everyone recognizes immediately, but over time, the consequences will become clear: weak muscles, slow recovery, or fatigue despite eating enough. And by that time, recovery is no longer about eating more, but about choosing again from the beginning, correctly and more strategically. Not all protein is usable. Not all protein intake maintains muscle. After 50, what you need is the right type, the right amount, the right time. Someone over 60 might eat very moderately, even quite healthily. 2 eggs every morning, a portion of salmon for lunch, Greek yogurt for dessert at night. Yet, despite such an optimized menu, they still face a reality. The body is still weak. Walking still leaves them breathless. Hands and feet still tremble when having to lift something heavy. Looking at the surface, everyone thinks, it must be old age. But looking closely inside, many times the reason lies in protein not being activated to work effectively. That is mistake number 4, lack of supporting vitamins and minerals. This is a point that most people, even many experts, easily overlook when guiding a high-protein diet. Protein doesn't automatically turn into muscle. It needs the support of other factors, especially vitamins, minerals, and activating amino acids, to transform those raw materials into actual structure. Imagine protein as cement and steel in a construction project. But if you lack the workers, the blueprints, the cement mixer, then that pile of materials will just sit there forever. The body is the same. No matter how many grams of protein you consume each day, if you lack the tools to process it, that protein will be broken down into temporary energy, not stored as muscle, be eliminated through the liver and kidneys, or worse, accumulate and create a metabolic burden. Why is the older body prone to lacking these micronutrients? The reason lies in the silent physiological changes that occur after passing the age of 50 to 60. The intestinal lining thins, reducing the absorption of many B vitamins, especially B12. The ability to produce stomach acid decreases, affecting the dissolution of minerals like magnesium and zinc. The liver and kidneys function slower, reducing the efficiency of endogenous vitamin D synthesis from sunlight. The gut microbiome changes, hindering the metabolism of some essential nutrients. What are the consequences? Even if you eat right and enough, the raw materials don't reach where they need to go, or they arrive without activating the muscle-building mechanism. A phenomenon called anabolic resistance will begin to appear clearly after age 60. This is a condition where muscles no longer respond strongly to protein as they used to. If at age 30, eating just 20 grams of protein was enough to stimulate muscle synthesis, then after age 65, that number needs to be higher and must be accompanied by micronutrients that are present at the right time. The most important micronutrients that help unlock the protein assimilation process include vitamin D, regulates calcium and phosphorus, activates muscle cells. Magnesium is a coenzyme involved in over 300 chemical reactions in the body, including protein synthesis enzymes. Vitamin B12 supports red blood cell production, transmits nerve signals to muscles. Leucine, a trigger amino acid to begin building muscle tissue. Lacking just one of these, the metabolic chain will be interrupted. In 2020, a study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition was conducted on a group of older adults, 65 to 80, with a high-protein diet. When divided into 2 groups, one supplemented with vitamin D, leucine, and B12, the other only with protein, the results after 12 weeks showed that the group supplemented with all micronutrients had an average increase of 15% in lean muscle mass. The group that only ate protein did not have a significant increase in muscle. Another study in the journal Nutrients in 2021 found that magnesium deficiency is closely linked to reduced hand grip strength, loss of balance, and a doubled risk of falls in people over 70. What is the solution to this situation? You don't need drastic changes. Focus on the following 3 key factors to support muscle health naturally and effectively. First, prioritize foods that activate muscles. This means ensuring your daily diet is rich in essential nutrients such as vitamin D, found in eggs, fatty fish like sardines and mackerel, sun-dried mushrooms, and D3 fortified milk. Magnesium, found in pumpkin seeds, almonds, spinach, and oats. Vitamin B12, from beef liver, tuna, eggs, milk, or sublingual tablets if needed. And leucine, in eggs, salmon, Greek yogurt, or whey protein isolate. Second, combine foods intelligently. Instead of focusing only on individual proteins, creating balanced and diverse meals will bring more benefits. For example, a meal of boiled eggs combined with garlic sautéed spinach not only provides protein but is also rich in magnesium. Similarly, Greek yogurt with walnuts and bananas is a great snack option. Or you can start your day with oatmeal cooked with milk, adding a little whey protein and chia seeds. This combination helps the body absorb nutrients better and makes meals more appealing, which is especially important for older adults. Third, evaluate and adjust your lifestyle. If you notice signs like muscle weakness or easy fatigue, regular testing of vitamin D, magnesium, and B12 about 1 to 2 times per year can help you better understand your nutritional status. In addition, don't forget to spend time in the morning sun regularly, before 9:30 a.m., to help your body synthesize vitamin D. Finally, remember not to skip meals and avoid letting your stomach get too hungry for long periods, as maintaining regular meals helps the body have a stable source of energy and absorb nutrients more effectively. You might be doing many things right, but if you still feel yourself weakening, despite eating carefully, then ask yourself again, am I overlooking an invisible link? Because to build muscle strength in old age, you not only need raw materials, but also engineers, tools, and energy at the right time. Protein is just the tip of the iceberg. Micronutrients are the submerged part, silently determining effectiveness. Let every meal not just be about calorie intake, but a subtle activation for the journey of restoring strength in your golden years. Have you ever sat down to eat a meal slowly, peacefully, without the sound of the TV or the phone, or do most of your meals go by like this? Hurriedly chewing a few bites, eating while watching the news, or thinking about housework or grandchildren. Sometimes, you can't even remember what you ate for lunch yesterday. Sound familiar? That is one of the most common mistakes, but also the least talked about. Eating too quickly, not chewing thoroughly, and eating in a state of stress. Many people think digestion starts in the stomach, but in fact, digestion starts right in the mouth. Every time you chew, you're not just breaking down food into smaller pieces. You are signaling the brain and stomach, telling the digestive organs that food is coming. Secrete digestive juices. Get ready to absorb. If you swallow hastily, not enough enzymes are secreted. Stomach acid isn't strong enough to break down protein. Food goes down to the intestines still in large chunks, and the body has to eliminate most of what could have nourished you. What is the result? You might eat the right foods. You might eat enough protein every day. You might even drink protein shakes, eat chicken breast, eat tofu. But if you eat too quickly or eat when stressed, that protein doesn't nourish your muscles. It slips out of the absorption process, like a train derailing, and leaves silent consequences. Muscles gradually weaken. Legs tire faster. Shoulders and neck ache dully. Getting up from a chair is slower than before. And you don't even realize it, because it doesn't happen in a day. Science has clearly proven chewing thoroughly, 30 to 40 times per bite, helps balance digestive hormones like GLP-1 and CCK. These hormones help you absorb protein more effectively and regulate blood sugar after meals. Eating slower helps reduce post-meal inflammatory responses, especially in older adults with weakened digestive systems. Eating in a quiet space helps activate the digestion mode of the parasympathetic nervous system instead of putting the body in a state of alertness and stress. Sympathetic. You don't need to change your food, just change how you eat. Start your meal with 3 deep breaths. Turn off the TV, put away your phone, let the meal be truly your own time. Chew each bite at least 20 to 30 times, especially with eggs, meat, beans. Spend a minimum of 20 minutes on each meal. Don't eat in 10 minutes and then get up. And finally, end your meal with a small sip of warm water as a thank you to your body. Why is this important? Because after age 60, your body no longer operates on the principle of eat anything and absorb it like when you were young. It needs clear signals. It needs respect. It needs a more refined way of eating. A meal shouldn't be an act of dumping food into your stomach, but a small ritual of self-care. And when you do it right, you will see the miracle happen. No more tired legs after walking. No more dull back pain after each morning. And especially, feeling that you have regained the strength you thought was lost. You don't weaken because you're old. You weaken because your body has gone too long without being listened to. And sometimes, just a small adjustment in how you eat is enough to reawaken the entire process of restoring that strength. There is a small flame within each of us. It once burned brightly when we were young, easily lifting, standing, climbing stairs without a second thought. But then, over the years, that flame softens, not extinguished, just gradually weakening, if not kept warm every day. You've seen it yourself. It's not because you're lazy, not because you're frail, but because the way you've been tending that flame isn't right. A protein-deficient breakfast, like a morning without kindling the stove. Loading all your protein for the day into one dinner, like waiting until late at night to light a fire. Choosing the wrong protein source, like using wet wood. Lacking micronutrients, like having no steady breeze. Eating hastily, like starting a fire without waiting for the embers. Each seemingly small action weakens the flame, silently, quietly, without warning, until you find yourself cold. Cold in every weak step, in a shaky hand supporting yourself, in a morning waking up late because your body is tired, your back aches. But that flame has never gone out, just needing a match at the right time, a patient hand to rekindle it. Start with how you eat. Not elaborate, not complicated, just a little change from today to warm up those muscle fibers waiting to be restored. No flame is too late to rekindle, and no age is too late to become strong. If you feel today's reminder is for you, please share it. For your spouse who is starting to weaken. For your parents. Or simply, for yourself. On a tomorrow morning when you choose to eat better, slower, and believe more in your body's ability to recover. You don't need to wait for someday to see a difference. Just start, step by step, right now, and I will be here to keep that flame warm with you every week.